Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow and I'm here with Catherine Haleko. Say hi, Catherine.
Hi, Terry.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we continued our Good Place watch with a Chip Driver mystery. But first, Dancing with the Stars. So this week on Dancing with the Stars was dance-off week and also just miscellaneous personal story week. Or I guess taking people to places that mean something to you week. But that wasn't everybody.
I guess.
The themes have been odd this year. It's like they recorded stories for everybody and then are dividing them up on different weeks. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's very odd. And they haven't done most memorable year. Do you think they will?
No, I don't. Why don't they? I think this is what, week 8 of 10?
Yeah, you're right. They can't because next week is the boy bands and girl groups. And then it's the finale, right?
So they just seem to have chopped most memorable blank up into little pieces.
Right.
A memorable place, a memorable relationship, a memorable experience of being bullied because...
Yes, there's got to be one of those every season.
So, there was a lot of very good dancing, I thought. Mm-hmm. I didn't always necessarily... Well, I thought that some of the scores were too high. Mm-hmm. I thought James should have had the only perfect score of the night. I thought theirs was very good.
And it was contemporary, but you still liked it.
Yeah, I did like it.
I liked it.
It was well done there for contemporary.
Yeah.
Some of the lifts were kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't think Kells was deserving of the perfect score it got. It was okay. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of faffing about.
Yeah.
Why do we need 3 couples on the stage? Mm-hmm. And lots of jumping around. Anyway.
Right.
And the judges certainly seem to love Allie, which I'm happy for Sasha. Mm-hmm. But she's okay.
Yeah, she doesn't do a lot for me. But she's sweet, she's appreciative and
yes.
She
that
has
I will say.
A sweet way about her.
Yes, there's absolutely no diva to her.
Right.
As of yet. So that's good. And I do like Sasha and would be happy to see him do well. Mm-hmm. So, okay. And they also seem to like Hannah quite a bit. So, okay. Although she didn't do that good. She didn't get that great scores this time, did she? Did she get 10s? Did she get 2 10s?
I feel like she might have.
Somebody got 2 10s. Yeah, was kind of underwhelmed by her dance. But again, I like Alan. So if Alan's going to win one, that'd be okay.
Right. And Hannah did do better in the dance-off than Lauren.
Yes.
So.
Yes, she did. Lauren, I'm noticing, seems to be not entirely focused. I'm seeing a lot of kind of stumbles and looking at Gleb and not doing things quite in sequence. And maybe because of her injured ribs, I would imagine it would be very hard to focus if something hurt.
Right.
Or just, this is a long season. It doesn't seem like a long season to us as the viewers, but to be dancing at a pretty high level every week.
Right.
For weeks
week in and week out. Yeah.
I think you just at some point lose steam. Mm-hmm. I felt like Kate lost steam. Mm-hmm. Starting last week. So while I would have liked to have seen her go further, week 8 of 10 is not a bad time to go out. And I was very happy that she was celebratory about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I never thought she would be one to be weeping.
Right. She's probably like, I'm tired. I'm ready to sit down for a week.
And also that she made it really far.
Yeah.
And that's terrific. Good for her. And good for her having a great attitude about it all along. But I did notice a drop-off in her dances.
Right.
I thought you did too, because I know you said last week was not her best.
Yeah.
And this week I thought also was not quite as fun as some of her best ones were.
Right.
So I was very happy to have her on. I was very happy to watch her. I would have been happy to continue watching her, but I think she did a great job, and she had a good run.
Yeah, she really did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that she accomplished one of the missions of Dancing with the Stars is letting people know who you are. Mm-hmm. So she definitely stood out, and I will keep an eye out for her in the future where I might never have done so before.
Right, because you weren't a big Office person.
I was not an Office fan, so while The Office is enough in the popular culture that you sort of know people who were in it.
Yeah.
If you pay any attention at all. Right. But I never particularly thought of her before this. And she impressed me a lot, just with her attitude as well as her dancing.
Right.
So that was fun.
So okay, there's 1 week left and there's 6 people left, right?
Yeah.
So do you think next week they're going to cut it down to 4?
I think there's going to be a double elimination.
Right.
Would be my guess.
So next week they'll cut it from 6 to 4, and then the following week they'll probably start off fairly early on getting rid of somebody.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the way they've done it before, hasn't it been?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it has seemed to me that they have kept a large amount of people far into the competition.
Right.
More so than in the past. And that's been great because there's people I really like who are not going to make it till the end, but I like having them around.
Right. And so we got to have them around for quite some time.
Right. I'm happy with that. Mm-hmm. And who knows what's going to happen with Sean, if he's going to keep on hanging in there all the way to the end, or if at some point they're going to figure out the formula for ditching him. But it is what it is.
I did think it was kind of funny that when they started announcing who was safe, they just went ahead and started with him. Yes. Let's get this over with. He's still here, and so now we can move on to other
And then
people.
you saw the stricken faces on everybody else, because it's like, oh, crud, it's going to be one of us.
Even Jenna looked pretty stricken.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it was going to be was she going to be the couple that went home 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah. That would have been kind of
Maybe that was insurance for him. I don't know.
Teeth. Yeah.
I thought of that when she came out, and it's like, well, now do we root? I mean, we're rooting for him to go home, but it's like that's kind of rough for her.
Yeah, I didn't feel the need to root for her.
Nah,
she'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm just consoling myself in the fact that even if he had gone out on any of these weeks we wished, a lot of these same people would be going home still.
Right,
So,
it's a matter of sooner or later.
People you're pretty sure are not going to make it to the final 3 or 4.
Right.
There was a point at which I thought Kate would, but I feel like for whatever reason, the last 2 weeks I haven't felt that. I've still voted for her and would have been perfectly happy to have her.
Right.
So, going to be interesting to see who makes it to the finals.
Yeah, don't know.
I think I'm going to be rooting for pros more than contestants at some point. But although it's James should be there till the end. I'd be extremely surprised if James wasn't there till the end.
Yeah, I enjoy him.
Yeah, and Lauren, I feel like is sort of losing it to some degree in her dancing, but she has Bobby Bones shilling for her every week on his show, so it's possible that she's getting a large number of votes.
Right, because she's not doing real well with the judges. You know, like she was second from the bottom today. Right.
So, I mean, we know that Sean has a huge enough voting block to keep him over really, really low scores, but we don't really know what anybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if Bobby Bones' fans are going to be as motivated to vote for her as they are to vote for him, but if they are, even by a little bit,
right,
she could hang on longer than people expect.
Sure.
I don't think people are thinking of her as somebody with a huge voting block, but she is.
Right.
She's on his show every Monday, sounding like he woke her up at 5 a.m. Los Angeles time, which is in fact the case. But, he's really pushing for her. Mm-hmm. So, because they are friends.
Yeah. Well, I think that's helping quite a bit.
Yes, I think it is. And that's fine with me because I like her. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sashaying off to The Good Place and the episode A Ship Driver Mystery. What did you think of this episode, Catherine?
It wasn't my favorite, I think, because that character is just rough to deal with, Brent. And I just don't want to spend any time with him, even when he's being knocked down a peg and punched. I still don't really want to deal. So.
And, he's just a big old piñata, so punching him ain't too hard.
Right.
And I just felt like this episode was a form of bad place torture for me, because you're going to tune into your favorite show that's always has such fun people and interesting plots, and it's really going to be like you're spending the half hour on Twitter. So, as they were talking about on the Good Place podcast, how, boy, this is really going there, just like what's going on today, and just like all these recent political events. Ha, how wonderful. And I'm like, no. Can we be someplace else? Can we address these in sort of a much more meta way? Yeah. Do we really have to have, let's do that Brett Kavanaugh thing again. Let's bash everything again. Can we just not? It's like there are plenty of places to do that. So I like it more when it's more broadly on these themes, rather than trying to highlight real world issues. Right. With these characters.
The last time there was sort of a Brent heavy episode, and they talked about it on the podcast, and they talked about how, you still have empathy for that character, and he's not a caricature. And I'm still not seeing it. I didn't see it then, and I don't see it now. Yeah. I feel like he's nothing but. So.
And I think that's a flaw of the writing, that they're not really trying very hard. They can find lots of compassion for an Arizona dirtbag, but a entitled white guy, we're not going to try that hard. So, in which case, don't create that character. Right. If this is all just about saying, well, all humanity's worth is salvation, but a guy like that, nah. It seems like they've got to find a way to do it, and maybe it's hard for them.
Right. They're not finding the redeeming qualities. And, maybe that's because there aren't any, but they've set that for their task, and they're not accomplishing it.
Yeah. It's like he's their creation. So they get to make redeeming qualities if they want to. He's not a real person. Right. So it was not, and it was also so disconnected from the continuing storyline. We left Jason and Michael and Janet hand-carring their way back to the neighborhood. And I was thinking, oh, great, we're going to get to see Janet getting back into the mix and fixing things. We're going to get to see the relationship of Janet and Jason getting back on track. We're going to get Michael strategizing with Eleanor based on what happened while he was gone and what happened in the bad place. And it's just, no. We drop into your lap
6 months later, or 8 or 4 months later, or whatever it was.
And there was very little Janet in the episode. She was, good Janet. She was there. I saw her, but I don't know if she even had any lines. And bad Janet seemed less bad Janet-y than usual. I don't think that they were using all of Darcy Carden's powers there, so I don't know why they couldn't have had both Janets. But it just was all in all an unsatisfying episode for me. Not in the way that I've been worrying about the episodes being of something terrible happening. Right. Just, it's like we take this 1 week out of our remaining short supply of episodes to tell you a little parable about life today. Yeah. Not so interested.
No.
Oh, well. How many episodes do we have left that they felt they had this one to?
I don't know. Not that many.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm sure it seemed like a good idea at the time. Months and months and maybe a year ago when they were writing this.
Right.
Not such a good idea now. I don't think. Others, I'm sure, found it very satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, I have no fondness for people like Brent, so maybe I should have found it satisfying, but I did not, just because it was just too much of that. And, no getting better. I mean, they said, oh, he's getting better. He didn't flip the table after he lost a round of cards. But if you're not seeing that and you're just seeing him continue to be horrible, then I don't know how that's supposed to
I wish they had made more about the fact that, at least as of this point, the gossip guy hasn't spilled the tea about Jason. So that's that should be a points thing, you know? Although, is maintaining a lie a points thing? I'm not sure. But it's an advance for him, I guess.
Right, yeah.
I am so confused by all this.
Well, and I also had totally forgotten that Chidi knew, but the other people didn't.
Right. In which case, maybe lock your door, dude.
Yeah, when you're in the middle of all this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have locks.
I guess not.
Like they don't have money.
But hard to keep a secret that way.
Yes.
Well, anyway, onward.
Mm-hmm.
This one didn't fill me with anxiety. It just filled me with... This is the kind of thing when I see it on the internet, I just go someplace else. But I have to watch this episode, so... Oh, well. Anyway, hopefully next week will be better.
Yes.
We will continue with our Dancing with the Stars watch with the episode dealing with boy band and girl group night, which sounds remarkably unpromising to me, but who knows? And episode 7 of The Good Place, which is called Help is Other People. And we'll be interested to see how that goes. Plus, we will catch back down with the West Wing Weekly podcast with the episode 2 weeks out. That's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you'll find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.